Is it recording now?
Now it's recording.
Okay. All right.
All right, we're gonna start over here.
All right.
I didn't get that. Today's August the 5th, right?
August the 5th.
Uh, and we're here in Kansas City, and I have with me. Tell me who you are.
Tim Perryman.
All right, and you're from Kansas City.
I'm raised in Kansas City.
All right, so you and me, we haven't talked in, you said 5 years now, right?
It's been 5 years.
So where have you been all these years?
I've been living up in New York City. I've been living up in New York City, playing jazz, playing music up in New York City,
Oh, yeah.
whatever I can do, bus, play jazz, R&B, funk, R&B, just whatever I can do up there.
Playing in any groups or doing any recordings?
I've been doing mostly like some solo work. I was on television a couple of years back, but for the most of all, I've just been you know doing the busking thing up there. This time around,
Mm-hmm.
Craig, I've been doing the busking thing. I played with some groups, but for the most part, I'm talking about New York is changing
Yeah.
for a lot of musicians. So a lot of musicians is coming. All the clubs is
Mm-hmm.
changing up. And it's not as many jazz clubs as it is anymore. So everybody is doing the busking thing. So I play with groups outside. You know.
When you first came in here, we had talked this stuff, and you had said, which I had heard, that you had demised or had passed away.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I heard that all the way up to New York, but when I found out what happened, they just got me mistaken with somebody, and when they gave the description,
Mm-hmm.
it was somebody that was actually carrying the trombone, had dreadlocks like me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they found him in the alley, and everybody thought it was me. And I actually heard that all the way up in New York City.
Wow, that's
I
crazy.
heard from here. I heard it all. It got back to me all the way up in New York City. And New York City, the population is 8,600,000, and people that fly in, that makes it 12 million, at least 12 million plus. And I just happened to hear about that. So through all of that, what I've been going through in New York City, I actually heard that. So that's strange.
So your mother and your family's here in Kansas City. Do you have brothers and sisters, or?
I have brothers and sisters.
Okay, you said you weren't from Kansas City originally, right?
I'm born in Stuttgart, Arkansas. My dad and mom is born in Stuttgart, Arkansas. My last name is Perryman, Tim Perryman. One of my cousins wrote one of the songs in the Count Basie Orchestra, and it was called Dirty Dozen Blues. So he's a cousin of mine. His name is Al Perryman, and I'm Perryman. I'm talking about I have another. I think he might be like my uncle or something like that, but he was a country singer. I'm talking about he played with a country singer named Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
And one of the members in the band, his name was Lloyd Perryman.
Okay.
Was Lloyd Perryman. So music. I'm finding out that music runs in the blood.
So you went to school here mostly? You started
Yeah,
grade school, elementary school?
I went to Hawthorne Elementary. Over, I guess, off of 10th and Quindaro or something like that, or 10th and Roland. And then I ended up going to Bryan Elementary, which is probably what's that, 17th and Hiawatha or something. Bryan Elementary. It's not there anymore. And then I ended up going to Roosevelt Elementary. That's where I first learned how to play trombone. And then when I was in 6th grade, I went to West Middle School for a half semester, and then I went to Northwest. From Northwest to 6th grade, the second semester of 6th grade to 8th grade, I was at Northwest Middle School, and then I went from Wyandotte High School, graduated at Wyandotte High School in 1991, and then went to Kansas City Community College, UMKC, University of Kansas City, Missouri.
Y'all said you knew one of my classmates, Charles Bay. He said he spoke highly of you.
He was my eighth grade teacher. He was my eighth grade teacher when I was at Northwest Middle School. Derek Hibbler was over the music department, and he left and went to Wyandotte High School.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Bay, Mr. Charles Bay, he took over when I was in eighth grade. So he was my eighth grade music teacher. And from there, I went back in with Mr. Derek Hibbler.
Yeah.
From ninth grade to 12th grade.
Yeah.
And then I went on to college from there.
So you played around Kansas City during the 80s? Or were you
I
here?
started my first gig here. I'm talking as far as jazz. After I graduated from Wyandotte High School, I used to work at the River City Market. It used to be a boat, a cruise ship, the river boat, the Kansas City river boat, and I worked there. That was one of my first gig, and that's where I learned a lot of songs from there. I don't even know if I still even remember them. I have to be able to just play it instinctually. But that was my first professional paid gig. After I graduated after high school, and from there, I played with Ahmad Aladdin, Everett DeVan. I ended up getting my own group. Tim Perryman Quintet.
He played at the Blue Room and all those places.
And played at the Blue Room. And I've done some recording. We just did a recording about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
With America, young trumpet player.
Patton, yeah.
Yeah, America Patton, and Bobby Watson was on there, and you produced it. So I'm talking about.
And you was on my record too back in 2004.
Yeah, oh yeah, I talk about that a lot. I'm talking about
playing on my Latin songs.
Yeah, on the Latin, on the salsa. I had to let them know up there. I had to let them know. I do some Latin. I talk about that a lot up in New York. Kansas City Exposed.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, they think, oh, he just plays jazz. Check me out on some Latin. You know what I'm saying? Some salsa.
So what's your plans for the immediate future right now?
Well, right now, thank God to be alive. To continue to play music. Be involved with my family more, because my family is getting up in age. I have children. My sons are up in age, hopefully be, here in Kansas City more. You know what I'm saying? To be, around my family, people that I'm more familiar, I'm familiar with. And, hopefully, I can talk to you about putting the CD together,
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Why don't you blow a little bit for me?
All right.
You want to blow to that, or you want to do a little solo thing?
I'm just going to play a little jazz for you, just let you know where I'm at, This is a J.J. Johnson arrangement, and it's entitled Coffee Pot. justice to Mr. J.J. Johnson. God bless, rest in peace.
All right. What would you like to tell the younger generation? Some advice or something you can tell them. You know, you done been through. You've been through life for a minute here, so I know you.
But this man, but I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you anything. Keep on doing. Keep on being, adventurous. Live, live your life for yourself. Enjoy what you do. You know what I'm saying? The choices that you make. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just go bold for it. Just do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all got to answer to Almighty God. You know what I'm saying? For better or worse. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Live it out full. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. Do it your way.
All right. Thank you. What just happened here?
Hey.
What happened here?
Hey.
Here's it on.
Doug gave you a horn?
Mr. Warren gave me a horn.
Oh, wow.
Play. Play, man. Play.
Long ago.